Aquan here, back with another video. Here today to give you all my review of this new Coi Leray EP called Blue Moon. Coi Leray is a New Jersey artist who, in my opinion, really came into her own earlier this year by dropping the album Coi, as I think she narrowed her focus to what she was good at and also really improved her pen game to create a product that was both well written and pretty enjoyable to listen to. And I think overall, Coi Leray has had a pretty dominant year this year with Self Love, as well as a couple features on Dave East and B-Love's album that, or not B-Love, Diddy Osama's album that I ended up really enjoying. So in a weird stroke of events, I was definitely very much looking forward to this new Coi Leray EP, and it was about what I expected. I would say that the writing is, I'm gonna give it a good, teetering on great. I think that for what Coi Leray lacks in like lyrical potency, she makes up for it in like lyrical focus and like personal bars. I think her ability to express and discuss her life and the issues that she's had with friends and betrayal and her father are actually pretty profound and like pretty entertaining and interesting. You can see this definitely with Still Dreaming and Wicked Butterflies. But even Liquor and Weed is a good introspective personal track about how she's moving in the circle of her friends. I would say there was no features on this album. I would say the production was pretty good, but I am gonna knock it down to a mid because the creativity was a bit of an issue for me on this one. A lot of it felt like a lot of it like felt very, very derivative. I think more derivative than like Coi, because I think at the very least with Coi, we can say that her embodying the complete entirety of this dance aesthetic is something that's very unique to her, and not as much seen in the mainstream aesthetic at the current moment. And she had her own spin on it, but I think that obviously Isabel Marant is definitely a carbon copy of like a Yeet Destroy Lonely Cardi song with like a rage beat, and similar to Destroy Lonely or Ken Carson, I'd say especially Destroy Lonely, I don't think she executes the rage aesthetic on this one all that well because she doesn't come with the requisite energy or vocal range necessary to really do these kinds of beats justice for real. And while I did really enjoy Still Dreaming, I cannot ignore the fact that it very much felt like a Boogie ripoff in a lot of ways. And she does the song pretty well, but it still feels like a very clear follow-up to a lot of A Boogie's work and discography. I forgot to mention, also on the topic of lack of originality, is it just me or did Food and Liquor sound like word for word, like almost beat for beat, like a Tory Lanez song? It was kind of shocking to me. I don't know, maybe that was just me, but like those like that song aesthetic felt like deeply entrenched in Tory Lanez. And it's kind of insane because Tory Lanez is somebody who lacks originality. And then you have a song like Wicked Butterflies, which sonically and even a little bit lyrically sort of feels like Self Love Part 2. And I understand like the need to, rehash, what is considered your best moments. But I think that when it's done to this degree, it just doesn't really, to me, come off as all that flattering, in my opinion. And so while I thought the production overall was really good, with cool piano beats on Still Dreaming, I like the rage beat on, I think it's Isabel Marant, and the beat on Food and Liquor as well. I think that the lack of originality really does hurt this project, and I think that I'm gonna reflect that in the lack of creativity. Musical execution, I'm gonna give it a good. I thought that it was standard Coi Leray. The vocals were improved from Trendsetter, as they've been for the entirety of this year. There were still a few vocal passages here and there that I wish could have been better, especially on Isabel Marant. I really don't like how I feel like Rage Beats recently have just been an excuse for people to sort of be pretty messy and lazy with the auto tune on their songs. And so there were still some vocal passages here and there that I feel like could have been stronger, but overall I thought that what she brought vocally and the way that she intermixed with the production was pretty good. And overall, I thought this project was pretty good, honestly. I really enjoyed it and think that it's a cool in between for the next, journey that Coi Leray decides to embark on, and definitely caps off a very, very good year for Coi Leray as she progresses creatively. And one other thing I think I would like to say is that I think that one thing that's a bit disappointing is that with all the discourse around female rap being bad and female rap lacking lyrical diversity, I think that the main problem for me is often that when people have this take, people A, don't look for the quality, and B, don't really listen to entire albums. I think that, when we talk about female rap, you have people reacting to hit songs and people reacting to what gets played on the radio or in the club. But I think that when you dive deep into these albums in their entirety, Coi Leray being, a good example of this, you can find a lot of introspection. You can find a lot of substance and personal storytelling from these female rappers if you decide to dig past what ends up going mainstream. And I think that Coi Leray, along with plenty others like Meg's last album and pretty much all of Nicki's discography, really, I think, is a shining example of the level of misunderstanding that a lot of people have towards the current mainstream crop of new female artists. Yeah. I also think this is a positive notch in Coi Leray's discography overall. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what y'all thought of this in the comment section below. Like I said, quick little EP, Blue Moon. With that being said, peace, y'all.